Now then. Yeah, this is a nice little walk and whack, which never got home conversion as far as I know. I say as far as I know, I mean as far as I'm interested really, so don't be coming with this, well actually, the game did receive a Croatian-only exclusive release for the Korean prototype handheld, referred to as the BioBelm. Because I'm not interested, really. And neither is anyone else, you boring nerk. Granted, I mean it goes without saying that I'm fairly sure your man Soldier Boy and his next swanky dream machine will feature at least 13 versions of this, where you can play as Bib Fortuna or Frank Costanza or whoever, but you know, that's Soldier Boy, ain't it? I guess the rest of us mere mortals will have to rely on this. I mean, it's right enough for what it is. If you dig on walk and whack, then by all means give it a do. A few different characters to choose from and some interesting enough boss battles to keep you whacking away for the first few levels at least, I would say. I've never been bothered myself enough to stoically walk and whack my way right to the very end. But I might do one day, if only to sit credits, which, legend has it, contain a digitised version of Jack Douglas from the Carry On films. Though I don't know why. Get off! Now then. Arcade-wise, Nemesis were a big one for me. Back in, 1986, I guess. And I were on my dinner hour at school. And I got bus into town to have a quick look in Electron, pick up new Talk Talk record that had just come out. And on my way back to the bus station, on my way back to school, I run into my pal, who excitedly starts going on about this new boss shoot 'em up they've got round at Mr. Pool. That all older lasses were into because of how you've got to put your star sign in on our table or something. I mean, it sounded interesting enough in that respect, I guess, but not that couldn't wait until after school. But then he says, you've got to fight volcanoes in it and all. That's exactly how we put it. And very clearly that could not wait until after school. So I agreed to nip round with him. Just one do, I said. A quick one. Well, 70p and 7 doos later I was still there getting change for my last pound note. And school would have to wait until tomorrow. Unless my mum's watching this, in which case that last bit's not strictly true. I pegged it round to school and made it just in time to study very hard in what was an academically productive afternoon, embellished with considerable effort on my part, as per. I think the thing about Nemesis that grabbed me were it was the first game that I'd ever played where you choose your own power-ups, which got me really giddy at time. But I guess like so much in this lovely little life, one of its major strengths is also one of its major weaknesses, as when you get shot down, which you will, you lose the lot. Except maybe an opportunity to reboot your speed a bit, so, thanks for that. And that's where I get snookered, to be honest. Because if I can't steam through an entire level with loads of little laser spouting orbs, dropping missiles and all that sugar, then, this is hardly going to slice the salami, is it? And just for the record, you don't fight volcanoes. I said it then and I'm saying it now. Volcanoes aren't interested in stuff like spaceships. I mean, yeah, one erupts now and then, and you got to try and protect yourself from like lava and hot rocks and all that. But you don't fight it though. You don't. Nemesis stands up though for me as a decent game today and still plays well, man. Dig it out and whack it on. Now this is a little belter. Back in, when were this out, man? Again, 86 or 87 maybe, were it? Research ain't my sort of thing, really. Life's too short, isn't it, for all that kind of stuff. If you're interested, Google it or whatever, man. Or get off my case. Regardless, back on every couple of months or so, my mate's older brother would do me a C90 cassette compilation of games. Probably only about a third of which would actually work, but he only charged me £1 plus tape, so it were a right enough deal, really. Bear in mind this were back in good old days, when taping stuff for your pals, whether, new records or games or whatever, were just something that you did. Nobody made any dough from it at all, certainly nobody I knew, but teenage funds were limited, and OG purchases were reserved for things like birthdays and Christmas or whatever, unless it was second hand or maybe, odd bit put out by Mastertronic. Still, excuses of low-level piracy aside, game-wise, the overarching theme in Nebulus is a fairly common one, I think, experienced by most folk in their everyday lives at some stage, in that you have to help steer some smart little bubble-firing frog effort up terrific towers, past bouncy balls and disappearing blocks and whatnot. And this thing, whatever this thing is, it never gives up, man, this one. Every few minutes is on your case for some reason. Just comes whizzing along and whack. All time. I don't know what his game is, but he's clearly not happy with his little lot and just flies around mixing custard in with gravy all time. It'd take a far zenner individual than I not to start effing and jeffing at this Burke, so good luck with that. Now, when you get to the top at first tower, you're faced with a grim realisation that the entire game is naught but an existential construct on the non-sustainability of themes like consumerism and accrued power. Stuff like that. As it transpires that yon frog fella only wanted to get to the top in order to fetch the entire lot crashing down round everyone's ears, before naffing off in a clunky spaceship to bag some fish in a shoddy bonus stage effort that's been shoehorned in for some reason, before he rocks up at another tower and gets weaving all over again, and so on. I like this a lot though, man. It were different enough back then and still stands out in that respect, really. Enough to merit a few do's now and then, definitely. And you can't help but take a shine to this charming little froggy fella and sit there grinning as you bid him Godspeed, as he hops ever skywards in his mad little mission slowly becomes your own. Or something like that. Now obviously, plenty Smash TV vibes here, augmented with that additional pinball flavour that OG Smash TV players always anchored over, in the misguided belief that it would in some way improve the original concept. So, cue you, overhead running and gunning absolutely everything and everybody in sight to pick up a never-ending array of jewellery, minute vehicles and iconic paintings and whatnot. It's been left lying about as a result of your well-aimed bullets. And if the stuff you blow away along the way ain't dropping expensive goodies and whatnot, it's belching out even deadlier weapons to help you on your gun-toting, gift-grabbing way. Or you get a couple of these to boot. And some nice bosses always help break up shooters, and this is no exception in that regard, which gives you a good excuse to use these. I mean, yeah, it's not like it's not been done a good several times since. Because it has, hasn't it? At least several times since this came out. And I mean, it were barely original when that first come along anyway, Nitro Ball, but it remains nice and daft. And it's fun, you know. All the kind of stuff that's lacking from loads of kind of things out. They probably rate higher in more serious gamers' books in big scheme of things, but as a rule they're not but a set of scracky boring gets anyway, so what do they know? All in all, it's probably something you'll have a few do's on, then totally forget about for about 6 months or so before you find yourself in mood for another deck and lambaste yourself for shelving it in first place. Not wrong with that. Good solid stuff, man.